In the time before kings, when Israel had no ruler but the judges, darkness loomed over the land. A foreign oppressor, King Jabin of Canaan, held the people of Israel in a cruel grip of tyranny. His general, Sisera, led a vast army of iron chariots, symbols of unstoppable might. No man dared stand against him, but history would not record his defeat at the hands of warriors or kings. Instead, it would be the courage of an unlikely woman, Jael, that would change the fate of a nation. In the heat of battle, where swords clashed and war cries echoed, one man, a powerful general, fled for his life. He sought refuge in the tent of a simple woman, believing her to be harmless. But what he did not know was that she was about to change the course of history. This is the story of Jael, the woman who brought down a mighty enemy commander with nothing but a tent peg and a hammer. A woman whose courage was foretold by a prophetess, and whose actions would deliver a nation. Deborah was no ordinary woman. She was a judge, a prophetess, a voice of wisdom in a land desperate for guidance. She called for Barak, the leader of Israel's warriors, and spoke a prophecy that would change everything. Our story begins in a time of darkness. The land of Israel lay in fear under the rule of King Jabin of Canaan. His general, Sisera, commanded an army of ironclad chariots, a force that had crushed all who stood against them. For 20 years, the Israelites suffered under their oppression. Crops were stolen, villages burned, and their warriors, too weak to fight back, hid in the hills. But in the midst of this despair, a leader rose among them, a woman named Deborah. The day of battle arrived. Barak's army, though small, faced Sisera's forces at the Kishon River. The Israelites had no chariots, no iron weapons, but they had something greater. A sudden storm swept across the land. The ground turned to mud, and Sisera's mighty chariots, his greatest strength, became his downfall. Stuck in the mire, his army fell into chaos. The Israelites attacked, and Sisera's men fell one by one. Seeing the battle lost, the great general did something unthinkable. He fled. Leaving his men to die, he ran for his life. Exhausted, desperate, and alone, Sisera found himself at the tent of a woman named Jael. Jael was the wife of Heber the Kenite. Her people were at peace with King Jabin, and so Sisera believed he had found safety. As he approached, she greeted him with a warm smile. "Come, my lord. Come inside. Do not be afraid." Grateful and weary, Sisera entered. Jael offered him rest, covering him with a blanket like a caring mother. He asked for water, but she gave him warm milk. Little did he know, this was no act of kindness. The milk made him drowsy, and soon, he drifted into a deep sleep. And then, Jael moved. Slowly, carefully. She reached for a tent peg and a hammer. Taking her position, she raised the hammer high above her head, and with one swift, brutal strike, Sisera, the mighty general, was dead. When Barak arrived, searching for his enemy, Jael stepped forward. She led him inside, and there on the bed lay Sisera, fallen not by the hands of warriors, but by a woman's decisive blow. "The man you seek is here," Jael said. The prophecy was true. The victory belonged not to Barak, but to Jael. And so, the prophecy of Deborah was fulfilled. The mighty Sisera fell, not by the sword of Barak, but by the hand of a woman. Jael's story is one of courage, of boldness in the face of fear, and of divine justice. Her act would be remembered for generations, sung in the victory song of Deborah and Barak. A simple woman, with nothing but a tent peg and a cause, changed the course of history. God using the least expected people to accomplish His will. Time and time again, we see this truth unfold: a shepherd boy facing a giant, a fisherman called to change the world, a young woman chosen to bear the Savior. And today, that same God still works through the most unexpected people like you. Subscribe for more incredible stories of faith and hope.